Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of It's On Us. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to all of our pages, and enjoy the episode.
So I'm bringing this in this week. How y'all doing out there?
Top of the morning, top of the morning.
Top of the morning.
Let's
top
get
of the
this
morning.
shit. Let's get this shit.
Welcome back to another episode of IOU. It's me and the guys. We're having a lot of fun today. And I'm going to start off by introducing my guy to my left, and it is
Ash, yo, how everybody doing?
And then I got to his right.
Glizzy Diaz.
All right.
You're owning the Glizzy, though. That's impressive.
He is. He really is.
New season, though.
And that's why I called you Kobayashi in the text. As your entertainer. And then to my right, I have
I don't know my name. I forgot.
Oh, no.
I'm freezing up.
Cold Feet.
Cold feet.
Cold feet
It's just your
straight.
boy.
Take the day off. Get the fuck out of here.
Who are you? I don't know who am I. Who am I? It's a deep question.
There we go.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Remember that rat we used to do? We used to, me, you, and Joe used to like rat to each other. Mm-hmm. I think you mentioned it. Like, who are you? That was your intro bar. Mm-hmm. Oh man.
At one point in time.
I wish we could pull those back. That was fun.
I still have that iPod, actually. I just have to get the screen repaired. I still have it in my notes, all of them.
Dude, please. I think we know a screen repair guy, don't we, Ash?
We do.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guy, Eric Jennings. He owns a shop on Oberlin Avenue. Crack Screen. I forget the actual name.
Mm-hmm. Is there over by Big Lots over there?
Yes, right across the street from Big Lots.
Okay, because I found a place in North Ridgeville that would do it for $100, but I mean, if he's competing with that, cool with that. But it's John to my right. Me and him were having to go back and forth. And it's your boy Clif. I'm the host today. And today I'm going to start off with my little spooky season story. I told it a while back, but you know what? We probably have a bigger audience now. I would hope. I would love a bigger
Y'all
family.
better be listening to us, so we got some
Right.
freaking jewels in this.
Tune in.
So pretty much at one point in time after I moved out my apartment, I moved in with my boy Brad into a condo because I heard John doesn't believe in ghosts, and hopefully this can convince him. And before I even moved in, one time I took over my PlayStation and I was trying to get into the front door. Mind you, he was in his room, right? And the door was acting funny. And when I was trying to twist it, it was twisting in my hand. And so I thought he was behind the door and he was going to try to scare me on some corny shit. Mm-hmm. When I opened the door, like I shoulder pressed it because I was going to squish his ass and I accidentally flew in and hit his wall. And I was like, oh. He was like all the way around the corner. And I was like, who the hell was like twisting the door in my hand? Mind you, I didn't know what had happened in the house at that time. So, okay, speed it up to me moving in. Just some weird shit was happening. I felt a presence in the house at all times, which was weird even when he wasn't there, you know, because I used to work out there, play 2K there by myself, and it just felt weird thinking like, you know, there was just somebody always either watching me or just in there with me. And so speeded up a couple weeks, Brad had told me, like, you know, he was joking about this demon being in his house when we were chilling, and I was like, you know, that caught my ear a couple times because I thought he was just playing around, just being goofy. And I asked him one time, I was like, is there really a demon here? He was like, yeah. He was like, I be having fucked up dreams, this, that, and the next, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, and I just thought he was fucking around because, mind you, he had been drinking. I was like, he's just fucking around. Been there like maybe a month and a half, and I started having weird dreams, and it was hard for me to go to sleep. I would even sleep with my light on. Mind you, I don't sleep with my light on. Like, it was that bad. Like, when I was like dark in my room, I felt weird, bro. Like, I couldn't even listen to music and close my eyes because it felt like somebody was like looking at me like this close, and I'm like, all right,
Feels like somebody's watching me.
hell yeah. And his shower curtain used to fall all the time, and I fixed it a couple times to the point where I knew it shouldn't have been falling, you know what I mean? Under no circumstance. And it's like not a tub or anything. It's like a wall and one of those spring ones, so it should be cool.
So you had a few different encounters.
Yeah, a few different encounters. And there was one time I was working out upstairs, and like he had this chandelier. Mind you, there was no windows open, nothing. And one time it was just like, you know, spinning and rotating on its own. And I'm like, man, I know I'm not bugging. Like, yeah, I smoke, but I'm not bugging. You know what I mean? So at that point, I left the house. I had one really, really bad experience when my boss's wife, like her eyes were blacked out, and she kept, like, I seen her for some reason driving. This was a dream, mind you, so I was third person. I would watch her drive in the house, up the driveway, come in the house, and her eyes would be blacked out, and she's like running towards my room, and she just bursts in and screams, and I'm just like, what the hell's going on? And she would come up to me and just like do some weird shit, and I would wake up and I'm like, yo, bro, I'm bugging. Mind you, this lady is nice, we get along, so I'm not I wouldn't be dreaming bad about her for any beef purposes or anything, so I'm like, this is all weird.
She did that in your dream?
Yeah, in my dream. And I asked Brad
must
about
be your
it.
time of the month or something.
Right. And I asked Brad about it. He was like, man, that's crazy because I be having dreams like that all the time. And he be lucid dreaming and be saying, like, he be hearing this lady's voice and he be telling him to turn over and he can't. He be feeling paralyzed and all this other shit. And
That's sleep paralysis.
so, yeah. And he said he's been dealing with that for months since, like, Christmas and shit. So I left the house. I ain't gonna lie. I left the house for, like, 2 weeks. I was spooked out. I was like, okay, something's really going on here. And
how old was the house? Like how? Like what do you think?
It wasn't old at all. I'm gonna tell you what happened. It wasn't old at all. I think it was like done back in 2000, like 4 or 5. It's not old or anything.
That's newer construction.
Come back because he tells me to come back. I'm paying rent there. I'm paying bills and shit. So yeah, I was like, yeah, all my shit's over there, and I do live there, so I'm gonna go back. And at that time, what was happening? I think we had a party. Everything was cool. Somebody stayed the night, and when that person stayed the night, we slept on the couch. And when we slept on the couch, I woke up in this dream where that person had grabbed my arm. And I was looking up, and mind you, I had a blanket on me. That person grabbed my arm and looked at me, and that person's head, like, you know, looked up really slow and creepy and looked me in my eyes, and like their head was like upside down like this way. And then like their body was like upward this way, and then her head twisted and like and she rushed at me, and I woke up and I was like, whoa. Oh, and then I like went to my room. I did not sleep next to her. I was like, okay, I'm bugging. Went to my room. Next night, that's when my lucid dream got worse. Brad had left. I was home and I was playing 2K and I fell asleep on the couch. And I fell asleep because it was a sectional like this. I was playing the game on this side, but I fell asleep on this side watching TV. Okay. And when I fell asleep, I woke up and I was in the living room again, like where that last bad dream had happened. I'm sorry, I gotta back up. But and when I looked up, there was this creepy man. He kind of looked like Groot from Despicable Me, but he had on a jester suit, and I'll never forget it. It was like green and yellow. He had on no jester hat, and he had like creepy beady eyes, and he had a smile with really sharp teeth from ear to ear with really tiny ears, and he was standing over me with like a mace, like one of those spike ball things from back in the day, and he was just looking at me creepy. And like, and I blinked, and for some reason, like, he like bent over and he was closer to me, and his eyes were really intense and to the point where I can see like his blood vessels in his eyes, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? And I was punching up, and I was able to like punch up at him. I couldn't hit him. Most people know what I'm talking about. When you try to fight in your dream, you can't hit the person. So that was going on, and I woke up sweating. I was bugging. I was like, yo, what is going on here? Tried to calm down. I went outside. I smoked. I was like, man, I'm having like all these nightmares here. I was like, shit ain't adding up. You know what I mean? I was like, what the hell's going on? I went back in, tried to go to sleep. Mind you, I do have the knowledge that, you know, Brad's been having sleep paralysis and he's been having weird dreams with a witch-like voice in his dreams. Now, when I went back in to fall asleep, I had the cover on me, and I slept on the other side of the sectional, obviously, because I had a nightmare on that side.
Try to switch up your position, like, hey,
that shit was
maybe
working
situational.
So I was laying down, and I woke up, and I was in the room again. I was in my living room, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I seen like feet moving in Brad's room because he had a see-through fireplace, and I thought he was like maybe walking back and forth, maybe talking to somebody on his phone, but I couldn't hear nothing. So I'm like, what's Brad doing up at this hour? And I feel real eerie in his dream. I feel real anxiety, and I try to walk towards him, like his, you know, room, just to check on him. And next thing you know, my blanket snatches me. My blanket, it pops up like kind of like Doctor Strange's cape.
Okay.
And and it snatches me, and it like pulls me down to the center of the living room. And next thing you know, and it leaves me like enough space to where like I can see like our kitchen and shit, and like around the corner where I was walking towards, and this black figure comes around the corner. And it's this witch-like figure and voice. And mind you, it had this dark aura and everything. Something that you would see out of a movie, but this was like vivid enough for me to remember and see. I am bugging. I'm scared because I feel defenseless. I can't do anything. And I laid there for about 20 minutes. And then I woke up. I was on the couch, and I was like, yo. I went in my room. Pretty much didn't sleep that night. And I talked to Brad. Like, I pretty much called off work the next day because I was bugging. Wow.
Shit.
And when he came home, he just told me about how him, Velez, and 2 other people played with a Ouija board in a crawl space in one of our closets back on the Christmas party we had. And pretty much, I know the rules of Ouija and the Ouija board, and one of the most serious rules, and most people forget this, is to always say goodbye. Otherwise, you're going to leave that door open to that realm. And when they went down there, mind you, Velez had been doing this at plenty of places. He thinks it's a joke, you know what I mean? I take that shit serious. I'm a spiritual person, and I understand the consequences of not taking that shit serious. And another extreme rule is never play in a graveyard. And so they played in a crawl space. Nothing happened, supposedly, that Brad said, and they never said goodbye. And I told him he broke a major rule. And I feel like that's why all this bad energy and all, because I told him everything too that had been happening to me, and he believed me. And he did say, like, you know, a girl hit her head on the way out, which he thought was weird because, you know, she had a clear opening. I was like, well, that was kind of like a bad omen sign right there. And everything spun out of control. And and after we had that conversation, more shit had been, like, it kicked up. Glass in our sink had just shattered, exploded out of nowhere after dinner one night, which was weird. What else happened? Like I said, the shower curtain kept dropping. And it was just all so. And then supposedly I was possessed, and I believe him. And this was in the middle of the day too. I was asleep on the couch on this side of the sectional, and because I was tired, because again I hadn't been sleeping for weeks because it was hard to sleep. Every time I went to sleep, something weird was happening. He came home from work, and I think I was watching football. It was a weekend, and he seen me sleeping on the couch. And he said, what's up? And clearly I was asleep. Once he seen me, he opened up the fridge. And he said when he closed the fridge, I was standing right there in the doorway. Mind you, I have no recollect of this. I woke up on the couch. And he said I was standing right there in the doorway. And I said, what's up to him? I was conversating and everything and shit like that. And then he turned his back for a quick second. And then, like, when he looked back, I was back on the couch asleep. I was like, what? Again, I have no recollect of this. And I believe him. And yeah, wow, all sorts of weird shit. And then I just told you guys what happened with the champagne bottle, because he was leaving our job because we worked together at the time, and him and my boss were just like, because my boss had bought the house, he was selling it, told us we had to go, obviously, not because of conflict of interest or anything, just because, you know, they just called everything off, which is understandable. And during cleanup, and my boss is a witness too, right when we were done, we had a champagne bottle because we were going to toast to the place being sold because he sold it. And the bottle popped itself, uncorked. We didn't have anything near it. It was still wrapped up. And it was just crazy looking. And I feel like that was the supposed demon, because Brad called it a demon, that pissed him off one last time before we left, because them two had like a real thing.
Beef. That's a beef. Yeah.
It was crazy.
So it was only a demon because of what factual evidence? It just like...
It was just like, I felt the presence getting bigger. I really did. I felt it getting bigger, because at first it was just like I said, like he said it'd been there for a while, and it was messing with his sleep paralysis. The fact that we were both dreaming about our boss's wife like bursting into our rooms and screaming and doing weird shit. And at work one time, because I was tired, I had a vision of her bursting in the bathroom screaming at me. Like, it just, like, it was weird. Like, it kept taking on her her body. I don't know why. Her persona.
That is some creepy ass shit.
It is creepy. And blacked out eyes. You know what I mean? Like, no eyes or nothing. And it was just, like, weird to me.
Just to go back to the last episode, when we talked about spooky season, and, like, I said that portal, that door between where we are and the other side, it's a waiting room.
Yep.
And some don't cross over because of some entity or they're not able to fully transition into the next space, and those demons, quote unquote, are probably presence of that.
Oh, and let me point this
They
out.
opened
During
the door
him
with that Ouija
explaining
board.
like the whole Ouija concept, like, you know, what happened in his house, he showed me a picture of Velez, and it's weird that it's a woman too. He actually has a woman because they took a picture on our back patio of Velez like holding the Ouija board, and there's a vivid woman, a ghostly woman with yellow eyes over his shoulder. So
wow.
He still has a picture on his phone.
Yeah, can we
Can
get
he
that?
like send it to me?
No, maybe like just after the episode when we air this.
Yeah,
that'd be dope.
well,
Should we post this on our page too?
My phone is at home, and I'll text him, and hopefully he still has it. But yeah,
cool.
I'll never forget that picture.
Nope.
Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning.
Shit.
That's
on
insane.
spooky season. Yeah, we needed you last week, man. Shit.
No,
that's good.
The last week I kind of told my girl orphanage story, and like those energies are real.
They're real.
And people don't believe that, like, yeah, you find exactly what you're looking for once you enter that space.
And the crazy part is I wasn't looking for it. My thing is I found out about it, even though I felt it there and I was experiencing it there, but he confirmed it for me. You know what I mean? And when I was younger, me and my brothers, we lived on 18th Street and Garden, right around the corner from Osh. And our house was haunted, but he was peaceful though. He was a peaceful soul. His name was Mr. Sam. He had a name and everything. I think he told Sherman that name, or our grandmother. Actually, no, he used to live in the house. My grandmother used to know him. He died in the house. And Reese seen him first. We all seen him in our sleep. And the crazy part is we all seen him, like, it was always around my dad for some reason. Like, Reese seen him hovering over my dad. He thought he seen my dad passed out. And I did too. Like, just passed out in our hallway, Mr. Sam hovering over him. And there was another time he was just walking up the steps, and all of us had the same exact dream, kind of like same instance. You know what I mean? And he would, like, always cut on our electronics too. Like, our electronic shit would cut on, like, our little toys from Burger King and shit like that. So that was weird.
So that kind of leads me into a question. Like, if you could choose, would you rather, like, be a spirit that was allowed to be, I guess, like, haunt a place or be in a place? Or would you just be a spirit that'd be like, no, let me just pass on?
That was that dog pound spirit right there.
See? No, I would say I would be more of a guide to the souls on this planet if I had to choose which one I want to be.
If haunt is like a odd term to use.
Right.
Like haunt, like
haunting is just like
shit like that. You know,
yeah, haunting is like a negative. Like my experience here was bad, but like I feel like everything.
Or
is
I got
good,
a beef
so.
with somebody,
right?
So I'm attached to them, and I want their karma to be bad. Always. I don't want to be that, like, bitter in the afterlife.
Well, no,
right.
I'm not saying bitter, but just I mean I use the term haunt as like spooky or ghostly. So would you want to like be at a place like
I'm just fucking with shit just to freak people out?
That, or just like a old, you know, your old house, and like you kind of like are a helper in that house.
I'm with Ash. I'd much rather be like a spiritual guide or a guardian angel where I follow my loved ones the most. Like, hopefully I can be like, it's kind of like instant transportation. Like, I can be like placed with the people I love the most at all times. Like, if I feel something over here, like, you cool right now, I'm gonna go over there and like
make sure everything else is cool.
Yeah, be with them. You know what I mean? And when I feel like your energy is off, I'm gonna be right here for you. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I would love to be a guide.
I would like
a
to
guardian
be
angel.
If I got to choose, I would want to be like help out a family in a house that they moved into one of mine of, like, you know what I mean? Like,
how would you help them?
Like, you don't know. Like, what if somebody tried to break into their house and I'm like able to like irritate the dog enough to bark louder or some shit, or something.
You're gonna be sitting there waiting.
So you're gonna be like the trigger alarm, like you're gonna do something,
or just be able to help out the family in a sense, like
fucking ADT.
If I notice they're, you know, they have a kid and it's not breathing, you know, knock something over in the room, look back.
Okay.
Alert them.
So you're gonna be Casper, the friendly ghost.
Yeah,
that's what it is. That's exactly what it would be. Yeah,
you're gonna be Casper, the friendly ghost.
Mm-hmm. I think even the story of Casper is like trying to help the present people that are here, and that's what I think. That's what life is about. Because we talked about that Platform movie. By the way, if you guys have Netflix, make sure you go watch this movie, Platform. It's a great movie on social experiments.
Okay,
but yeah, just the entity of like trying to help people who are less fortunate than you.
I think I need to go back and watch his series. I was actually really into it when I was a kid, but I really didn't get the concept. I just liked him. But I think I need to go back and like watch that. Even saying his name, like I don't really have a vague memory of like how the storyline was and what he represented. So I think I need to go back and like.
Because if you look at like his uncles and the people that were around him, they were all like negative. Bad people. Like, you're a ghost. You're supposed to be this way, but like, who said you're supposed to be
he's a friendly ghost?
Evil, right? So,
but yeah, so. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, shout out to Gabe. Gabe's not here with us today on this episode.
He has some personal matters to attend to.
Yeah.
So, praying for everybody in that situation.
Everything's good.
IOU family.
So if you guys want to do this real quick before we like get into the episode, which we're already like semi.
All
right. So real quick, I like to do the wellness check.
Oh, you want to do it at the beginning today? Okay.
All right. So 1 through 10, how are you guys feeling? 1 through 10.
Man, so earlier this week I was stressed the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm better. So we're at like a 7. No, 6 in climbing. I say 6.
Okay.
I had to talk to my daughter about her phone because she got locked out. Like it got stuck in a power cycle. She didn't have enough room on her phone, so it couldn't update. So it was just stuck, and that like put her in a shitty mood at the beginning of the day, and just like terrible.
Her device is gone.
Right. Oh. Then she got shitty.
We definitely need to talk about that.
She got shitty with her mom.
Yeah.
Well,
over her device.
That, and you know, she wasn't ready for a test because, she felt overwhelmed and shit with school, and so
she got shitty because of
right. So
those factors.
Shanta.
That don't add up to me. I'd
So
be
I-
like,
So I
No, go
heard
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
they yelled in the car, and she doesn't always know how to respond getting yelled at because it don't happen to her often.
okay.
So I think that kind of fucks with her psyche, my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So she came back home. So I had to talk to her outside. I said, look, first of all, this is a tool to help you in life. You don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. I need it for school. I was like, no, fuck that shit.
You
I said,
You said it's like that.
You know how many people graduated without this thing?
I was like this. I was like, fuck
Yeah.
that shit. I said, you know how many other tools you can find to help you learn in school?
Yeah.
And so I took my phone out, threw it in the backyard. I said, so you don't need it. You don't need it, Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
I said, what else? Then she felt overwhelmed with school. Felt like she took too many college level courses as a junior in high school.
Which is,
I said,
That's
we didn't.
real.
I said, but you got to realize, we never said you had to do that. You wanted to do that.
yeah.
This is your decision. Not mad at you for it. You thought you could. You can't. Oh well, you fail. That happens.
Well, you don't fail. My thing is you
No,
need to
no,
take it
you're
on
not-
and you need to like
You're not going to fail
put
those
that phone
classes.
down a little bit more.
Right. I was like, because she's not going to fail those classes because that's just not her.
Mm-hmm.
But she going, it's harder for her. Like, you got to realize
Challenge. So,
it's going to be a challenge, Taylor. I said, look, I could be crazy. I said, but why don't you clean your room? I said, if you clean your room, that right there is changing your environment. That you could help you do your homework in more productively and stuff like that. I said,
That's a fact. I don't even play the video game in a dirty environment. It feels weird.
yeah.
right. I
I
was
gotta,
like,
I love clean
I
environments.
said, so, because you guys knew how my basement looks. And with me saying that,
Yikes.
My OCD
That was a
used
fucking
to,
landfill.
right,
Look
but
at that.
with me saying that, you guys are like, what the hell? But yeah, I told her, I said, look, clean your room.
Yeah.
I said, clean it.
even your mood changed once you cleaned it. You were so much happier to have
I
a
was
clean
like,
room.
clean your room so you can relax more.
We are gonna win tomorrow. That's a lot of spirit right there.
Yeah.
Right. Honey is saying
Dog
some
pound
shit.
going. She knows
She
something.
feels
But yeah, so I had to tell her how it was. I'm like, look, I don't want to hear this, I said, I said, whenever your mom asks you if you're fine, you always say you're fine. Don't lie to her. I said, if you're struggling, talk to us. I said, we don't expect a lot of you. I said, do good in school. Don't be selfish. Don't be mean. Know your morals.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So she did better throughout the week, which made the house better throughout the week. So
Okay, so
That's
John,
good. That's
for
good.
you,
Well, so you guys know that
congratulations.
my class.
congratulations.
My class is finished.
I
so
told you 110, not 95.
I'm disappointed.
Side note, I got so much admiration for you, John. Like,
I'm trying so fucking hard, and
He
it was
got a
just
shrine of you in his garage.
my class for this 7 weeks is done as of yesterday, and last night my professor had emailed us and basically the class and said, hey, you guys, these projects you turned in last week, they're graded. Here are some of the highlights or some of the ones that I liked, and she mentioned mine as one of the ones. And I said to you guys, I said, well, it's not the validation, it's just like that someone appreciated something that I did is
Yes.
kind of like something that like made me feel good. It made me feel like proud. I was like, shit, well, I run through a fucking wall. I don't know. It just feels good. It just feels
gets you hype. It's
Yeah.
like, hell yeah. Like, they noticed what I did. So,
yeah.
shout out to you, John.
So I'm trying. I think the last couple weeks, I think I was like a 7.5. I think right now I'm sitting at like 8.5, 9 because it's just I feel really good. I got that class done. Hopefully gonna pass it with an A. So no, everything else is good. Work is just going along right now. It's just been a lot of shit going on. It's just a lot to deal with. So
A lot of shifting, a lot of readjusting.
Work.
Okay.
because the other day we had mentioned I was talking to my coworkers, and basically we've had some people that have passed away like years after retiring, like 2 years after retiring. It's like, damn, they spent all that time, 20, 30 years to pass away in a couple.
That's
And
one of my biggest fears, actually.
We had a guy that came in. He was our old retired superintendent for, I think, when we had a trash company, or we were basically the trash company. We collected trash. He worked here. He retired in like 1970 something, or 86, I think it was. So he retired longer than I've been alive. So that's a blessing in itself. He was able to work a whole career, retire, and now he's been he's not been working since 86, 30 years. That's amazing. You know, and there's just to show like the two the other one that retired in 2018 and she passed away in 2020. It's like, damn. I don't know, it just shows you the different that life isn't guaranteed, and I don't know, just put that in perspective. I don't know why I talked about it.
That's why I tell people for anybody who's employed or has a job they go to, take your vacation, spend your time with the people that you love, because that job is only there because you have to make funds for your family. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, live your life. Mm-hmm.
Right? To piggyback off that real quick, how you just said how some people retire and how you said, make sure you know what you're working for. Mm-hmm. Me and you had a conversation earlier this week how last 2 years I ain't had a boss.
It feels good.
Not a lot of people can say that my age and make good money. Mm-hmm. Can't. So it's like I've recently learned to appreciate it more because everybody's life is a roller coaster. You're gonna have your up and your downs. And I was like, think about it. Sometimes the negatives matter, and then I'm like, take a step back at the bigger picture. It's like, hold up, it's really not that bad. Mm-hmm. So, just want to throw my 2 cents in there. So where it's like, if you're able to do it, do it. Because you, like how you said, John, you don't want to waste your majority of your life working all these years, and then 3 years later.
Yeah, this woman that I worked with, woman that I worked with, literally was living her last days with me at work. It's just wild to think about it like that. Like people are living their last day. You don't know when your last day is. So, I don't know. So just to put it in perspective, just very happy what I'm doing. Moving forward, just trying to live my best, and I like
gotta love the rabbit.
So just to reiterate, you had an 8.5.
And in conclusion,
with all that 8.5.
Okay, Clifton, for you, but I kind of do, not to cut you off, Clifton, but I do kind of like the unpacking of what we're going through, because people relate to what we're talking about.
Definitely.
Okay, Clifton, for you,
I'm at an 8. Honestly, past 4 weeks, I've worked over 200 hours. I'm trying to cut that down. And because I want to see my family more. Mm-hmm. But I'm ecstatic that our team was really dominant. We're 3-1 and we won today 9-1.
Now your son's soccer team, just so everybody.
He said I'm part of that team. He said I'm cheering.
I'm out there cheering my hardest.
Every fucking day.
I love it. I don't want to miss a game. I told him as long as I know his time and schedule, I'm going to carve out time to be there for him. Nice. I really mean that, man.
And he probably loves every second. He probably looks over through the game and is like, is he there? And he sees you, and that's like reassurance for him. They're like, okay,
hell yeah,
it makes sense for me.
Yep.
Me and Ash are doing a workout competition, and that has my physical up and down because we push each other. Mm-hmm. And he gave me an opening earlier this week, and I took it. And again, I'm tired, but I'm going to get my ass up later and work out and tomorrow because I got a lot riding on this. You know what it's like, Ash.
Yeah, it's just like, even if we whoever wins this, we both win because we both are putting the effort in.
That was every Sunday.
It's just a 7-day challenge.
7 day, okay, yeah.
And every day it's like you got to match. You know what I'm saying? Some days you'll be like, okay, well, I don't feel like doing it. Well, while you're sleeping, he's grinding.
Doing something different, yeah.
But then it's like, okay, it's basically like you're matching energies, and like it makes sense.
Yeah,
because you really do both win. Because like he said, even though we're both competitive, and of course I want the W, don't get me wrong, but like he said, because I see he takes that day off, that should motivate me to go hard that day. Like, this is your opening. Go hard. Don't take a day off. Like, just because he takes a day off don't mean you should match it unless you're obviously tired.
And this is the fitness app on the Apple Watch.
Yep.
Yeah. Through the Apple Watch.
We're not sponsored by Apple, but it would be nice if they threw that out there. But
you can send us some watches.
Yeah.
But, so that's nice. What else? I mean, nothing to complain about. I'm going to watch the new Venom later before the fight.
I've seen it.
Wait to watch that fight. Don't tell me nothing about
it. I'm not.
How'd you like it? I've heard
mixed. People, I've seen the mixed reviews and stuff like that. Me personally, this is my personal opinion.
Reviews.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie because I like superheroes and comic book based stuff. So I could be because I favor that type of genre more, but. I thought it was a good movie. I liked the storyline. I thought everything was good. And make sure you watch the post credit scene.
Damn! I was going to ask you, man. I already know I'm going to ask you afterwards. I don't want to spoil anything or have you.
Even with that though,
I geeked out. That's all I gotta say.
The one thing I will ask is, did they personify Carnage correctly? Because again, the fact that it's PG-13 lets me know it's kind of not done right. Because Carnage is
an asshole.
I know he's an asshole, but no, he's supposed to be like lethal. Like he just gives
zero
Fs, and do they live left and right?
So do they live up to that?
People.
Yes, he does live up to that.
He does. Okay,
in
that's
my
all
opinion,
I want to know.
in my opinion, he does because he did something. I'm like, oh, this dude don't play.
No, he don't. That's
So
what I'm saying. As long as they
yeah,
have
there
it.
was one scene in the movie that you could definitely tell where it's like, okay, they pay homage to it because he's like, oh, I didn't expect that. So
Good, exactly, and that's how you look at him because it'd be like you think shit's chill, it's a good guy, bad guy thing. He take it like up here, like yo, come on now.
Really?
it's
Oh,
so
man.
funny.
I need to watch that. I want to watch that credits.
And Tom Hardy, he plays that Venom character well.
He's a great actor.
And like
He
he's
is.
like I did not know he played Bane in the Batman. in
What?
Dark Knight. Yes.
Yes.
So no, I didn't know that's like till a year ago. So I was like, oh shit. So I actually watched the whole trilogy again. I'm like, he plays that character very fucking well.
He does.
Like John said, he's a great actor. I like Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
So did you do your?
No, I was waiting for you guys to.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
If you guys care about my well-being,
Oh, we do.
Let
we
me
do.
think about it.
I mean,
is there one more thing I gotta mention?
pause?
no,
How you
I would
doing?
say I'm at like I'm at an 8.59.
8.59. Hold up, you gotta break that down. 8.59. Like why such?
Like
the
is it
odd
5.9 or
Or
like
8.529.
-9?
or
8.5.
8.6 because you should round up? Like,
8.5,
Okay,
but I'm leaning towards
your stock is rising
okay.
to 9. Okay,
because
So it's not 8.59. It's 8.529.
I mean I can be 8.59. I'm still like increasing, but I feel like I'm on the gist of like leaning towards the 9.
So you're like buffering and loading towards
Yes.
a 9 or something?
Absolutely,
Okay.
because just when you're like so assured of what you want, nothing can deteriorate you from reaching your goal. You will stand in the way of what you want.
It's true.
So for me, it's like
ooh, that is true.
right.
I agree. I
So
can
for me, it's
testify.
just like I'm taking more accountability in where I am in life and just appreciating. Like we talked about this outside, just knowing your worth and how much you know you're supposed to make. And you can sit there and be like, okay, well, he said I make this much, so I'm going to make that much. But you determine what you want in life.
Mm-hmm.
So we said this like earlier on, maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I said if it costs me my peace of mind, it's too expensive. And I'm taking that with all the pride in the world. So moving forward, anyone who wants to catch this message, do what you want because tomorrow's never guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm at like an 8.5 or a 9 climbing because I'm assured of what I want.
So with you saying tomorrow's never guaranteed, it makes me think of a lot of like what if questions and stuff like that. And I just finished watching the Marvel show What If. It was a great series. If you guys haven't had a chance to watch it. I know Clif's probably the only person at the table that would probably watch it.
I would watch it, but I don't have. Is it on?
I'll send you my shit. Don't
Is it
worry.
on HBO?
You send me
No.
your shit.
Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, I don't got that.
Oh, I got Disney Plus. Okay.
Good. So it leaves me like we want to have a relaxed episode. So these are a bunch of like what ifs we talked about, or we're going to throw in some would you rather. So my first what if, or would you rather, I'm sorry, would be something that was proposed by John yesterday, and it's would you rather see your ancestors or be able to see your great grandchildren or great
meet. You're saying
meet
would you want to meet your ancestors or meet your
great grandchildren?
That's an interesting question, and I believe I would like to meet my future generations because at the end of the day, I know my ancestors did enough for me to get here, so I know they're okay. Whatever they're doing, they're smart, they're witty, they're good. And yeah, I could probably learn something and it can give me some knowledge, but then again, it would be from that generation, that era. I don't know if I can apply it to mine.
past. Yeah.
Exactly.
I hate to say
So-
it's past, but it's past.
It's obsolete.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
with that being said, I know y'all did fine. Y'all made your way to the north, whatever you did. But with that being said, I appreciate you very much. I would much rather meet my future generations. I want to know they're okay. Maybe I can learn something from their time frame in order to prepare for my current one. And yeah, I just want to. And plus, I want to see like if we evolve as humans too. Like if we blink different, are we stronger? Are they taller, shorter? What are they into?
You say blink? Did you know that today? I just learned
Yeah,
this.
Oh God.
Real quick, that wink and blink. So basically, blink is the by wink.
Yeah.
2 winks.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's
So-
funny.
So, that's what I'm saying. That's just one eye, and we have 2, so you're by. Okay.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So I think that'd be much cooler. Just
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. In the future, I want to see what's happening. Who's here? Who am I? You know.
Yeah.
What's popping? Brand new.
What did my seats produce?
No, or that, or like if they took, or if like my son, like if Parker passed anything down from what he learned from me to his son and was able to teach his children to where it was applicable to them.
You know that. Like,
question: how many generations are we skipping for? Like, which generation am I?
So
like,
I forgot what the question said.
Well,
Yeah.
I think you said great, but like a lot of people are able to.
Can we do great? So that way,
3?
Like, yeah, because some people see their great. You know what I
The
mean?
best thing comes
So I
in
would like to
threes.
see my great.
Okay.
Because you don't usually see the great or the great.
Okay.
So that's your son's
Son.
son. Wow. Fuck.
Yeah, see, I would like to see that because I know what my grandchildren are going to be, and if I'm blessed enough, I can see his son too.
Great.
So I would like to see my great or my great.
All of a sudden, like Jacob goes forward, and there he's like, "Yeah, I'm Jacob. I'm man, that guy was a fucking asshole." That's you.
So that's every 2 decades, you would say. So your great. So you'd be like 60 to be able to see the 3rd generation of what you become.
Mm-hmm.
3rd or 4th generation, yeah.
Wow.
No, I agree with you, Cliff. I would want to see the 3rd generation because, like, our ancestors, they walked so we can run.
Facts.
If that makes sense.
Facts.
So everything that we're doing now is forecasting what's next to come.
Mm-hmm.
But then I
Kind of building off of what
I read this quote the other day though, and it was like, "Tough times make strong men. Easy time makes weak men, and weak men go back to the beginning." Right. So our grandfathers may have had tough times and pass it on to our fathers, and they were climbing. So we're setting up the next generation, so it's easier for them. But if it's too easy, are you really like a hardworking man, or is everything like handed to you?
See, and that's where I feel like a lot of people get it confused when it comes to passing down things to the generation. Yeah, you want your next generation to have things a bit easier, more convenient for them, but this is where I respect the old school. You have to install discipline and being humble, because like you said, if you make things too easy, eventually you will have a weak bloodline because everything's too convenient. They're spoiled to everything. You don't want that. So you need to build some form of discipline and appreciation through everything. Like, look, yeah, this is easier and this is convenient, but this is why. So if you enjoy this, you need to keep doing this. Otherwise, we can start back at square one, buddy, and it's your fault.
Okay, so the quote was, "Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times."
So it's kind of like a cycle.
Cycle?
Yeah.
It's a cycle that most of us go through. But if you're informative and knowledge enough, you can catch that. So it keeps echoing so that work ethic never fades away.
I'm always about breaking cycles. You feel me?
That's what we're
Always.
doing. Right.
Be groundbreaking.
Oh, it makes sense though. That's why we're doing all this right now to set up the next generation, and they'll set up the next, and then.
So that leads me kind of like to another question I just thought of on the spot. Would you rather be known for your accomplishments that change the world, or no? So do you want that recognition, or it doesn't matter to you as long as I made the impact I wanted to make?
You goddamn right. I want a fucking statue. I want motherfucking a lot, actually.
He said
not that I'm entitled, but I feel like.
He said, "Babies better be named after me now."
Oh, I'm sure they will be.
I'm
But
and it's not because I want to be immortalized. I mean, don't get me wrong, I kind of do, but for the most part, then anybody would be able to take credit for it, and I'm not having that at the end of the day. And I think that's why we fight so hard for credit as individuals, because say if I work something like really hard at something, and then I never mention it because I don't want the recognition, I'm humble, but then the next guy, because you have to understand, if you tell a lie enough, eventually it becomes the truth in this day and age. Why would I let the next jackass take credit and he didn't do nothing? No.
Mm-hmm. So just to like dial back, so to go back to my statement of like walk and run. So to go back into our history, me and Clifton's, right? So Rosa sat, Martin stood, and now we're walking. So next generation can run to what's to come, because I feel like there's a whole shift going on, and I feel like we get to be the pioneers and a part of like the movement.
Push that, yeah.
Right. And of course we need allies, of course, but like that's on another podcast. But I just wanted to like put that statement out there because that's what we're standing for and that's what we're pushing to. So yeah.
And I got a good would you rather, because I did want to hear y'all answers to this one. So would you rather spend 3 weeks on Naked and Afraid, or would you rather spend 3 months on the show Survivor and its island?
Survivor. Let's go. I'm backstabbing every motherfucker on the island. I'm going back. Yeah, my name's Jacob. Yeah, I got you. I'm lying. It's come to point in time. Somebody got my
They're
back.
gonna eat your ass. They're
I'll
gonna
go.
cook you.
Look,
They gonna
because
eat your ass
I've watched
Yeah.
that show enough. Yeah, I might not be the most physical to win some challenges, but if they got some like logical challenges, I could probably pull that off. But nah, fuck that shit.
They can just vote you off though.
They could, but they won't.
You stuck there because it's a full 3 months.
Because
so you better
look,
be good at the game.
Look, like I told Ash before y'all got here, I could be the dumbest smart person or the smartest dumb person and fuck people over.
You know what season you gonna be on? The one where they sent people off to that one island where they were really stuck and they had to do like small challenges on it and it was hard to get food, hard to do stuff. I don't know if you watched that season.
No.
Like there was a season where if you got voted off the island, they didn't send you home. There was like this like outcast island where like there was a little hut and everything, but you had to work to build your camp. They barely sent you food, and the challenges you had to do were pretty much all day challenges in order to earn a little bit of currency in hopes to get some food and shit back.
Oh nope.
And then you could work your way back onto the island and get back into the competition. I was like, I like that because it goes from Survivor to Extreme Survivor.
Yes. Yeah.
So actually, I thought of this one outside. Well, actually,
I
you
want to
did.
hear their answers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
me
I'm
too.
sorry. I'm sorry.
So I think so. I've never watched Naked and Afraid, but just judging
I
on
have.
judging on the title, I'm assuming that I'm naked in a.
You're naked with somebody of the opposite sex, and you're
word.
Yeah.
word. Stuck in the wild.
Is she single?
Don't know.
Hell no.
Is she available?
But you guys
Is
have like
she
a machete,
emotionally available?
and you
Oh.
guys have like a canister to carry water in
And I think a flashlight.
and a flashlight.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
You got to build your own hut, fires, and you're naked.
Yeah,
mind
yeah,
you.
and you
gotta
gotta-
find your own food.
Some of these places are bug infested. Like you got mosquitoes
Sweet.
coming up. Like open wounds are a risk.
You know,
infection.
just for the exhilaration factor, put me on Naked and Afraid.
For 3 weeks, sign you up for a month.
Yeah.
Out in the wild.
I'm almost leaning toward you, John, but I'm trying to stay by.
By a week and a half, you're going to look like Bigfoot. All your hair going to grow back.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be bad.
No.
You gonna see me with the machete, like give myself a fade.
Cut myself.
We go find some paste, put it on his
Next-
head, and
Hey,
shave it off.
hey, by week 2, I got like a taper. Like, he's good with the blade.
I'll probably go with
Got gangrene from a cut he did. Infection. Next thing you know, his eyes all swollen up and
You
shit.
don't need a tetanus shot by the time you go.
yeah, I go with Survivor though. I would just
Survivor.
do that. That makes more sense though. I mean, I don't mind Naked and Afraid, but it's just like you don't know who you're going to be casted with, and like
That's true.
you're going to survive, and like that fight or flight kicks in. So I don't know. Like I would go with Survivor.
And sometimes they put you in like tropical terrain, so if you don't build a hut, you're going to be out there cold, ass naked, wet.
What?
So here's a what if question that
So don't
Cliff.
think cuddling going to go well, because you're going to be...
Suction
Shit
together.
gonna be inside you, man, right?
So, Cliff, you actually proposed this question to John because John's a twin, and you had asked, "What if you and Joe never grew up together?
Like pretty much you guys were split at birth.
Would you try to find him, and do you think you guys would be friends?"
Not even friends. Like you'd be brothers. Like would you like really try to like attempt to be
Yeah,
brothers?
I guess. Would you attempt that brotherhood?
If I knew he existed or didn't know he existed.
You did. Like you found out.
Oh,
like maybe
yeah.
you were 21. You just graduated.
You
and,
got a
like,
brother. Like,
But do you think it would be as strong as it is, not like in real life?
I think we have a lot of similarities, so it would help if we just met each other at 21. But we would missed out on all those years of growing with each other and all the little things that like I told you guys about our messages back and forth and things that we already like our
Normal.
our friendship, our brotherly friendship with each other has
Shit.
been grown.
John might never have been left-handed. He might have been right-handed.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I told you guys this before that I copied my brother when we were at the table sitting there when we were younger, just like me and Clifton are. He was writing with his right hand, Joe was, and I would write with my left hand to like mirror him because I was thinking that's okay. I guess I gotta write or I gotta use my hand that I'm looking at. So it was just and that kind of stuck with me. You know, I started eating with my left hand, and it just grew from there. And
Now, what if that never happened? What if he became right-handed and the whole outlook of his child?
I probably would have been
changed? a homeless bum living under the 21st Street Bridge. Damn. Like that's some shit.
Whoa.
Where are you going with all this? Like he ain't even answered two of your questions because you keep interrupting, and then you just made him a bum under a bridge.
Goddamn.
Like, calm down,
You
man.
got
This
a hard
nitro got
life,
you
brother.
going.
All because I didn't have
Press
my.
the brakes on this nitro drink, man.
But yeah, so it was. I think maybe could have been a ball player. You know, being left-handed, you're better. You know, you're more desirable like pitcher, like a baseball pitcher.
That's a fact.
But like a right-handed person, like for basketball, I think you're more like the natural style. Like being left-handed.
Jacob feeling it.
Jacob, man, I'm a.
So pretty much, you would seek him out. You would attempt.
Yeah.
And you think you guys would eventually obtain what you guys have now. It just wouldn't be as strong. Like
Yes.
you said, you wouldn't be doing the whole rapping thing and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
It's crazy that you say this though, because there's another show on Netflix. It's called Three Identical Strangers, and they were split at birth. This was I want to say it was a German experiment, and they basically like people gave birth to like twins and triplets, and they would separate all of them at birth just to see the social environmental
from-
development of all those kids.
Wow. Huh.
And some were like, they knew they were a twin, but the codependent of like, okay, there's somebody else supposed to be with me. So like, say you wanted to cuddle, but then that person's not there. So it's like subconsciously messing with you and like, but that's another good movie to watch if you guys want to watch.
Three Identical Strangers. Sweet.
So Jacob,
So me? You want me to ask all the damn questions today?
no, you want Clifton to ask because he's like the host. So
I'm in.
Whatever, don't matter.
I mean, that's fine. I'll ask all the questions. There was another Would You Rather that was really good that I mentioned. What was the other one that I mentioned, Jacob?
That you mentioned?
Yeah.
Real quick, make sure you guys go follow us on Spotify, Apple, Podbean, wherever you listen to podcasts because
iHeartRadio.
it's lit.
Always.
There we go.
Okay. So, would you rather own a bar or a restaurant? And I'm going to start with Ash, since you already have a business. If like you were diving into a different business venture, would you go bar or restaurant? You can't have a bar or restaurant. It's strict.
Oh.
I can't have a bar and a restaurant. I just want
No, like if you did a bar, you're strictly focused on like clubbing, bar, DJ, drinks. And like obviously you'll have like little finger foods and sandwiches, but it won't be like no bar and grill type shit. And then with like the restaurant, I mean like it's an actual restaurant like Carrabba's. Let's just go
Okay.
with that
Sit
restaurant.
down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Type of.
Oh, I would take a more so of a restaurant.
Really?
I would do a
What-
restaurant.
Would it be a seafood restaurant because you like seafood so much?
It would be exotic food restaurant.
Ooh.
Okay,
So you're talking
Yeah.
about like gator and shit like that?
I mean, is that exotic to you?
To me, yeah, because I don't.
I mean,
live
'cause
in
some people eat
Louisiana.
snails, and that's exotic.
I mean,
That's
in the South it ain't exotic, but like people out West Coast
yeah.
might be. East
Okay.
Coast.
I see what you're saying.
I don't know, like, because I feel like if I owned a bar, that'd be casting towards people's, like, nothing's beneficial from drinking. It's poison that we like, so we drink it, and we feel better, but it's like,
You don't want to
restaurant.
poison the community.
I don't want
So
to
look.
poison yeah.
I'm out. Wait, is that your complete answer?
Yeah, I'm doing restaurant.
All right. I'm doing bar.
Let me hear it.
Because I just feel like if I have the power to create a vibe and an energy that people would want to come to and enjoy their night at, why not? If I can leave people having a memorable time and be safe by doing it, then hell yeah.
I can picture it now. I walking into Jacob's bar.
Shit.
There ain't no hip hop on the jukebox.
Country.
Like
I'm a old town
there's like
cowboy.
10 whiskeys behind the bar. No cognac.
Fruit flies.
Yeah, fruit
flies.
flies. There's definitely karaoke going on somewhere.
John Taffer's on his way to your shit right
He
now.
got a whole
He got a
bowl.
bull ride in there somewhere.
He got a bull ride. He got a whole bowl of like chewed
It's all
on.
taped. It's like duct
cashews.
taped. It's been used so much and like not fixed, so it's like duct taped and shit.
Around Halloween time, he's gonna have a bowl of candy, but it's gonna be mostly wrappers because people gonna throw it back in the bowl.
Damn, disrespectful.
Okay, he chose bar. He chose the bar.
Like I have nothing.
Damn.
I have nothing to say
said-
right now.
What's that one meme? It's like, damn, I'm getting cooked.
I can see it now, man.
No, okay, so no, Jacob choosing the bar. John, what are you choosing?
So I'm going to tell you that I'm going to choose a bar based on the factors of just the popularity of a bar compared to a restaurant. So restaurants are more. So that's kind of like my thought process is thinking of it as a restaurant. Okay, a restaurant has to be particular. It's a sit down. It's a family oriented thing. It's like very. I would say it's harder to almost make a profit unless you're very niche. You have to
Good
have
niche.
a niche. Yeah, you have to have your niche and have your clientele. A bar is I can get a Miller Lite, I can get a beer, a shot, and you can make money on that, and it's very profitable.
Right, beer and chicken pretty much like serve chicken wings. Because like I said, you could do like little finger food, bar food.
And also how Jacob said with the good times and things. I know my dad and my mom, they'll reference things, and you talk to older people and they'll reference a bar that they went to in 1982, and it's no longer there, but they remember the memories, and that would be kind of fun to have like that. Make a memorable spot.
Yep.
Make a nice location for people to go and have a good time and relax, and hopefully not fight and fucking cause problems. But people, you can't always.
And I agree. I would definitely go with a bar. One, for a fact, Monday through Thursday for the most part, unless you have specials on your menu, you won't have really a heavy bar. Or if it's game day, you're really just concentrating on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know what I mean? So the cleanup is like only heavy 3 days a week. It's easy to clean up Monday through Thursday. And light, you get your favorites who come in pretty much Monday through Thursday. Like they come in, order the same shit, same beer, sit down, talk to the bartender. I feel like it's a lot of lighter work.
So almost be reversed though in a sense, because Friday through Sunday you would be at a bar versus throughout the week you would be at a restaurant.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't want to do all that. I don't want to take care of something 7 days a week and have to deal with kids and all sorts of stuff.
Depending upon the
sale,
the prices of goods and prices of meats and things that are going up. And
that's what I'm saying.
So like
There's
on a
so much
Tuesday,
more.
you may prep all this food, and then the Tuesday traffic is not what it was 3 months ago, and you're wasting food and wasting money.
And that's what I was also thinking about, like the inventory that's going to go in the trash. Like you're going to throw away way more produce than you are beer. I can guarantee that. That shit going to get drank.
So that's the perspective. I mean,
that shit's gonna get drank.
So for our audience, what are you choosing? Are you choosing a bar? Are you choosing a restaurant? Let us know in the comments below.
And here's the beautiful thing about a bar: you can have a simple menu: chicken wings, burger, mozzarella sticks, pretzels, and like some cheese curds.
Yep.
You ain't got to do no more than that. People happy. Maybe keep like some $1 bag of chips, like how some bars do.
Because even at like B-dubs, how do people go to B-dubs all the time?
Right.
Like, people love B-dubs. Why?
True. Yeah,
It's a restaurant.
It's a restaurant, and it's also a bar, and they can drink, and they can.
So you kind of had to like
watch
both of
football,
them have to
got
coexist.
TVs. Right.
But your question was, which one would you rather have?
Right.
Would you rather? Yeah.
So I'm still sticking to restaurant.
So,
Okay.
you asked a good one yesterday, John, and I liked it a lot. Would you rather be around at the beginning of, you said beginning of the world or end of the world?
Well, the other one sounds scary, so give me the beginning. I can see everything. I know the end ain't coming soon. But the end, I might be walking down the street, hole might open up. Big hole drop in. Earthquake. Fucking something meteorite falling from the sky. It's too cold outside. No, I'm cool. Give me where I can actually see the tectonic plates breaking apart, and hopefully I'm not like in the middle of it.
He said, I want to see Pangea.
Yeah, I want to see Pangea. I want to see creatures. I want to see life. The end of the world, there's no life. You're scrambling for your own.
I'm trying to see the end of the world.
You want to see the end?
I just want to see the end. I want to see what's going really. I want to see what causes the end of it. Is it something out of our control, like a meteorite or shit like that, or is it something that is humanly caused by a nuclear bomb or shit just fucking up by the government or just something like that?
I think I will go with beginning, but I feel like if you chose the end, you will see that what we've done to the earth, humans have
That's
done.
what I'm saying.
Right.
'Cause I feel like there's always a
I'll be able
new
to see
beginning.
it. Yeah, I'll be able to see, what we built up to, but I want to see what really was like the last straw of the earth. Like,
I hear you. So you just pretty much want to have the knowledge and be a witness to the destruction of Earth. See me, that sounds cool, but then I would have to look my family in the eyes and look at them all worry, be defenseless, and I can't do nothing about it and feel like less of a man about myself. Yeah, no thank you.
but you also got to
Like
realize,
I have to look my baby in the eyes.
if
and
it's
know
out
he
of your
about to die.
control, it's out of your control. You got to back. Look,
I mean, yeah, but I'm still not trying to
This
look
was
my baby in the eyes and he's looking at me to solve this right now problem and he's about to die and I'm about to die. Like, no, I don't even want that on my heart and mind.
that's fair.
Could you imagine looking at Parker in the eyes and he just wants you to make this shit go away and he's just crying?
Crying back to him back, Parker.
He said, I'm crying back.
Yeah,
Back.
we both crying. Shit.
We both cry because Daddy can't fix this one.
Nah, see, I don't want that.
See, I don't know.
See-
I feel like, once I do have a kid, I would be like, listen, I'll sacrifice myself for you.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree with that, but there also is a time in the world to where, as a parent, you can't fix everything. You're gonna try your damnedest to. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, you're never gonna. No one's perfect. We're not robots.
True, see, but the only time I want my kid to look at me that way is like if we're at a funeral and it's like somebody he lost. It's like, okay,
fair.
like daddy can't fix this. That's more understandable.
Okay.
And I'm going to explain death to him. But the end of the world he wants me to do it, and it's just like, damn, son, like, I don't know. I don't
But
wanna look at him
then
and
you
pretend
gotta
it's
like,
maybe. No.
like, look, death of it's death of the earth. Just like how Aunt So-so or Uncle So-so passed away. This is what happens when you don't treat something right.
That's very
But hear me out though. So we're almost having two separate, different arguments. So you're saying at the end of the world, you're gonna have your family and friends and people with you, but at the beginning, you're gonna have yourself. So it's really like you being in the earth when it's created,
being in the moment.
So
is my family with me at the beginning? Because if so, I mean, bring my family again to the beginning of the earth. I'd be cool
right.
with that.
So, but it's almost just like if you're going based on the facts that emotionally that you can't do anything about it, and your family's gonna die. That it almost is like you're weighting it differently. And I don't know, for me, I agree with Jacob. I would rather see the end just based on, I don't know, just to see what happens. I don't know why we're fist bumping.
I didn't know anybody would want to see the end. Like I would want to see
it'd be interesting. Like how the destruction of the earth, and it's very negative. It's because again it's very two different weighted conversations, because one is about life, one's about death. There's
right.
That's the entire,
and that's pretty much what it is. And my thing is, I'm cool with not seeing death. I love life, and I love life so much. I just
I hear that.
I agree.
That the knowledge of the end of the earth doesn't intrigue me that much, because at the end of the day, once we're off, we are not. Because say if the end of the earth is still going on after you die, you really didn't witness or learn anything. Because what if you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. Because there can always be kind of like a
continuation,
a new beginning. Yeah, I guess is the best way to phrase it.
A new beginning. That's why I was like, if I gave birth to a new perspective or philosophy that echoes forever, versus the death of that happening, which one has more of an effect?
And it's nice that we're having these type of conversations, because it just proves perspective is everything.
It is
at the end of the day, So,
because don't get me wrong, death is interesting, but not so interesting enough that I'm trying to see it this close. Because when I do see it this close, I'm gonna be like, go away.
Right. So I got another one. What if we never became friends? Like, what if I never met John, which led me to Clif, and what if we never seen each other in our way between me and Ash? Do you think this group would have ever came together?
Nope. I'd probably be somewhere with my uncle, honestly. I always thought about that. Like, if I never met my group of friends, or like even like knowing Hector before all this, I probably would have moved away with my uncle, because my mom and dad have always hinted at that and wanted to do that in a way, and said I'd be better if they sent me off to either like wherever my Uncle Dion was, or go to California with one of my uncles who were millionaires at this time, still are, and I could have had a different life. And if I wouldn't have had nothing to really cling to here, I would have been somewhere else. Probably would have been in California, honestly. I would have took that, lived in a mansion, and connected with people. Still kind of want to do that, but I'm too old now.
No, you still can.
I still can, but my uncle
that.
ain't gonna let me. Like, I don't know if he would actually. Maybe if I ask him.
If you were to present Amari as the new opportunity, which is the rebirth of you, presenting the opportunity, it's like, look, we can establish something different.
So what about you? Do you think we would have gotten together?
No.
No?
Fuck no. I mean, I feel like the universe knows what it's doing, and I feel like we met obviously for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I feel like if we never had that conversation, I feel like the way you view life and I view life, we would have met regardless.
But like, you also got to think, before high school, we crossed paths before when we were younger.
Times, yeah.
Same football teams, actually. You took my spot.
Okay.
So, but you remember, right?
Yeah.
You remember that instance that, I know of him now, and you knew of me.
Right. So
it's just a matter of, are you going to act on it?
And my thing is, in the piggyback off what you two are saying, because I believe in quantum physics and stuff like that, and parallel universes, I believe we've all not just met in this lifetime, because clearly we're here, but past lifetimes. And if you go back to like past generations and civilizations, there's always like a school of some sort for children to gather, and just, societies, you know what I mean? And I've always had that feeling when I've crossed you guys before I even knew you. Like, for some reason, like, I kind of know you, but I don't know you. You're kind of interesting. Maybe I will know you at some point. And it just naturally blossom and happen. And I feel like that's happened throughout lifetimes where we've known each other. We've done this maybe in different circumstances. Obviously, podcasts didn't exist in, like, the dark ages or nothing. But who knows? Maybe we're in groups once upon a time. Maybe we didn't even look like this, but our energies were the same, just different bodies, different faces. And we just keep reconnecting, keep establishing, and clearly our energies like each other, and that's why we can exist around each other for so long. And anytime maybe this flesh or physical passes, we may be gone for a while, but for some odd reason, we always find a way back to each other through some type of just positive magnetism, if that makes sense.
What about you,
People
John?
understand energies.
I don't know. It's so hard to like. It's just kind of the same thing with meeting. If I never met my brother, like that kind of question is like, well, I don't know. Like it's just kind of like Ash said. It's kind of the universe at work. We are here for a reason, or we're together for a reason. And to say that, will we? Would have we been? I don't know.
Want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
We're at an hour.
Yeah. I looked at Clif because he usually has a quote, but
I have a quote, and it's actually going to be another chocolate Chinese proverb. I came up with it on my own, so hopefully someday I can see my name like on the inspirational quotes or quotes in a book someday. And today's is by me. Usually people say it is what it is. I disagree. I believe life is what you make it, but that's a choice. You can volunteer to take it or leave it where it is, but don't blame nobody when your life is what it is.
So this has been a episode of It's On Us. Again, make sure you guys go like us on our anywhere you listen to podcasts, whether it be iHeart, Spotify, Apple, Podbean.
we're gonna be on Facebook podcast soon. I gotta figure out how to
Facebook
add
podcast. Just know that we are forecasting a future that's going to echo into forever. So make sure you guys tune in next week to our episode, and you guys stay blessed.
And we are out of here.
it. Bye, Mom.
Thank you for listening to IOU Podcast, where you can reach us on Spotify, Apple, Podbean, YouTube, and our Gmail is IOUPodcast440. And this has been a great episode with my boys, and stay tuned for next week, and God bless.